we are going to explore the different tools to create the reliefs of the terrain. First of all, we are going to generate such a terrain of 1000 by 1000. Remember that those 1000 are meters. Well, we select the surface, and we go to the inspector. Here the first option, the first tab, is to add more surfaces of the same dimension. We go to the second one, and we will be exploring each of these options. As erosion requires a surface area to erode it, we are going to leave it for the end, and it also depends on a surface area. Then we see this one to set height. First, we have different types of brushes. We are going to select this one for the purposes of explanation, nothing more. Here we have the strength, not that we want to apply it with. This size would be for rotating. Good. To rotate will not be much appreciated with the circle. Let's select the star. Rotation, and we are going to see these right now. Here we have the height we want, the maximum height we want to reach. Remember that the maximum height of the ground is 600. By default, if we go here to the properties of the land, here at the bottom we see 600. Then, but of those 600, I can put 20 here, 53 depending on what we want, not the maximum height we want to reach. Then there, for example, I can now click here and now generate something with a maximum height of 50. If I give a small click, if I give it a click like that, just one click, no, I can't reach 50. If I increase the strength with which the force is, then yes, it does not reach it. Okay, we can explore these tools among themselves. We can navigate between them with the A, S, and D in that order. The A for the force, if we hit it to the right, increases. To the left, decreases. Then we have here size with the S. The right makes it bigger, the left decreases. Rotation with the D. Take the D. Look, is rotating, or to the left is also rotating. Okay then. Here, for example, if you see a maximum of 1 could be modified here. Click here on the to the little arrow, and you can define here the minimum and the maximum. We could put here 1. Strength is only going to be put at maximum in 1. Size equals brush size. If you don't let them do, if you need a very large brush, for example 1000, I leave 1000 here. We do this upwards, and we have a brush the size of 1000, depending thereon, of the size required. For already, see if you want to make it too big or not. The benefit of making it small. For example, if I made it out of 10, because with this bar I have more precision, I would like to leave somewhere not. If I set it to 1000, with this one I have less precision, because if I move it a little bit, it is made much more, it is made very big. No. With a little bit of moving it, it becomes very large. Then that's the advantage of making it small here. Or make it big. No. I think 100,100 is fine. To see the size of 100, we are going to make this maximum. There it is. We don't make it bigger. Here we put about 300, and we make this one big, and there it is very good. Okay. We also have the here and the space between. Let's say that between brush strokes, if I give it here for example and drag it out. Okay, not there, no. Does not mark anything because everything is already at 50. Let's do it at 0. If I give you 0, then now instead of elevations it makes me like type. Perforations not on the ground, we are going to lower it all. That's okay. Let's put 20. And this one here, what the spacing between each brush does. If I click on it, I will drag it out. Realize it is continuous. And here we are going to give it a spacing of about 10. So now every 10 meters he is going to give me a brushwork. Is no longer continuous. See, if I put every 30, it is no longer noticeable. And well, let's leave it at 0, and this one here, What it does is to create. Look, I think it is more visually appreciated. Create as a stain around with the same mold look at. Same mold around it is created. That's not it. Well, I don't use them almost, but I wanted to explain them. Okay, this would be the height. And we move on to the next one. This one is the same as the previous one. Only here it takes the maximum height of the ground. I can't anymore. I don't define a maximum of 5030. The controls are the same. And everything else is the same. The only thing is the height. Not that we cannot define the height here. If I am there, for example, we are going to increase here the strength and size. There it is. If I made one here, and I stem him and him more, stem more, will reach the maximum height of 600. Look, if I go back here, for example, to define height and I put here 600, and I make another one here on one side, look at the same height, then this one is for the same thing. Only in this one you define maximum height and in this one you do not. Then we have the transform. Here we will give you Control Z. Well, to explain the transform, let's first create here a small relief. Then we go here to see transform and it says twist as is. That's how it goes. Look at the twisting of them all there. Then that's what the twist is for. Then we have the pinch. What it does is that pulls everything inside the brush and pulls it inward to the center. Then we have the smudge, which is like how to boast, let's say. That is, I can grab a part of the surface like this, and I can drag it to one side. Look, and I'll winnow it. If I am here where there is nothing, then nothing happens. But if I hit it here, I can pull it and I'm it like a guy. A stain as if it were staining the surface with the paint that is already here, which in this case are heights. We have the effects. This one does what it does is like smoothing the slopes. Everything where there is pending you can soften it. If here, as there is no earring, it does not soften anything. But here you can start to soften it. Then we have to see. This one what makes is like creating a cut or Control Type Z. Back to the beginning. That's fine. That's what he's doing is like a cut guy. Where the peaks are located, the peaks or maximum height. That is, for example, if I click on it, look at it. What it does is like a guy, as how they could explain it. Like clothes or not a sheet. A sheet when we extend it, sometimes they are left as well as joints not as small elevations, as well as that of cut. Of the one with the sheet look at. All that is elevation we can do. Reduce in this way. We can even do it as a pleaser. Look. See. As we were devising a sheet. That is, I could. Or ironing clothes, something to go better. I believe the analogy. Exact or more. I think the perfect analogy is from by ironing one sheet, a garment is being ironed. We are ironing it, and imperfections are eliminated. And we are going back. Is very good for creating. For example, if I would like to create here one body of water, no. Okay, we also have the contrast. This one would serve well. One application I would give you is in a cave. What it does is to increase the elevation of those existing. Look, if you notice, for example, here, look here. I can give you here. Well, that has a very high strength. We are going to lower it. And already, for example, that could give me a smile like a princess, like that of cave in the. If I hit it here where there is nothing happens, nothing. Only where there are elevations, it increases them. That's what contrast would be for. As such. We can paint, guys, let's increase this. And trying to make holes here on the surface. Is is as if to create hearts. Place where we can specify the height. For example, here I could put 200. And that one is going to create one of 200. But if I create one on top of that, then it's not 200, it's 400. Any type of brush does the same. Look. Okay, that's what that's for. Then this is, as it softens, we are going to increase here the size and creates a smoothing. We can apply this subscription to you. If we want it to be softened positive, the negative smoothed can also be. For example, look at here to put these two together. If I give it a negative smoother, what it does is that this is the smooths down. And if we make it a positive smoother, what it does is that from below of the east surface of 0 is going to make it upwards. So that's what it's for, and the ratio would be like how much we want around us as. How to soften or consider softening. For example, I can increase the radius there. And when softening, look at. Consider more about. Okay, then it would be the height smoothing. And now we have erosion, hydraulic erosion, for it gives appearance of water erosion. Is useful when on beaches, for example. On beaches or rivers where there are, look at, as well as a water finish, as if water were falling there. We have erosion, thermal for tires. I turn everything into sand as if it were, as well as if it were sand. Okay, we also have wind erosion has a direction. If I hit here, for example, what it does is to create as waves. Look, there it is a little more appreciated, as if there was a wind current there, and all the sand would have pushed her, or the whole earth would have pushed it. That address can be changed by us with the rotation this. Rotation, or also remember, we can change it like this. It depends on the sound. If I put it over there, look, and begins as if to push all the earth there. Okay, we also have the good one. The duration would be all. The sculpted one, let's make it. For the end is we have this sculpted. This one, for example, what it does is to give it a sort of cut finish. Cut. As if it were a topographic cut of a topographic plane. C. As type Minecraft. To see to make it more appreciated. Let's hit it first here. We are going to go here. Let's add a small. Well, first let's leave everything to 0. No set. Okay. We put here a height of 0. We make bigger the good one there in 300 is fine. And we put there is. That's okay. We're going here too. This brush we are going to select one like this one. We make it bigger. And there it is, more or less. Okay, then we go to the sculpted and okay, look there. There it is a little better appreciated. Generates as cuts. We can control these cuts here. With this number that is here. We can give you, for example, about 50. And generates more cuts. That finish is also very nice. For games of this style, no, that have that smile. Then we also have to clone. What is this cloning? I could select here with control. Click select an area. And me clicking on another area. This one starts cloning it from this side. Look at everything on the left side. There you can see where the brush is. That I defined with control. Look, there is setting up the one at the top. Then that's what cloning would be for. You clone some of an area. And you can move it to another place or copy it, not. Okay, that's not it. I don't use it much. We have the bridge. That one is very useful. Control and there it is. Z control for undoing and control and for redoing. The one on the bridge. What it does is that you select a section. For example, in one place you put a brush. The one you prefer. Let's leave this one and here I give it control click and make some mark there. I made a small mark and I can select. Just click on it somewhere else on the map and it generates me like a bridge, not a connection. This one is also very useful if we wanted to create, for example, one road no. If I wanted to create a path here, could select there, control click and then click here. And then here I control click on this place here because I could create. Click control. Is no longer an example. Not that the roads look at the cuts there. In this case, it would be to make more cuts, but not. I've already done very few, that's why it looks like this. Very abrupt change of direction. Well, but that makes this tool. Finally, we have the noise one. Good for showing the noise one. First, let's bring everything back to 0. We select this. And we are going to bring everything down to 0. We select this noise. What it does is that it gives us a finish. Most unique one least remarkable pattern. That, for example, if I wanted to create with this. And let's see in this case. If I were to use, for example, this. I would like to create a pattern with this look. You look there, you look. For example, in this section here, you can see the mold. Not the mold I used, but if I were to use the same. If I did the same but with noise, with the same brush, and I add this little noise that is here. The brush pattern is no longer noticeable because he did it with noise that you see here. This noise, I can change it by zooming in here with the ball. When done completely, the noise is eliminated, but not when. If I hit back here. If I hit back here, because the noise is already becoming more larger. But if I make it too big, I still don't know, for it is not appreciated the difference. Then the idea here is to have it more or less there. Look there, it already allows me to create like mountains, mountain areas, and it is not so much appreciated. The edges are visible. The edges on the brush can be seen, but we could use a brush like this one, for example. With that same noise, look and you can no longer see the brush mold. Then that's what the noise one would be for. Here there are different types of noise. We can also leave here to this little eyelash that says domain, and here it says type of noise. We can change it. Look, several types of noise appear. Same backward or forward. For example, this, which is also useful, look at, and the brush is almost indistinguishable. Here is another guy here, another one, and not another one. This is the one that was by default, and that's it. In conclusion, because it would be all the tools to create the height or terrain. In the next video, let's start with the terrain tools of our terrain. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any new videos. See you in the next time.